Well, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party led by Tarique Rahman has claimed victory in election, the first since the 2024 uprising that led to the collapse of Sheikh Hasina government. Now, according to unofficial results, the alliance led by BNP has a strong lead with victories in 212 constituencies. The Islamist-led coalition headed by Jamaat-Islami has won 70 constituencies. Meanwhile, independent candidates and other parties have collectively won around 6 seats. The results are not official and counting continues. Elections were held for 299 of the 300 seats due to the death of one candidate. Also, a referendum was held on political reforms, which included prime ministerial term limits, stronger checks on executive power, and even other safeguards to prevent parliamentary power consolidation. The Election Commission even said that nationwide turnout in Bangladesh's 13th parliamentary election was 60.69%. Well, in the ongoing vote count for Bangladesh national parliamentary elections, the alliance that's led by Bangladesh Nationalist Party BNP has emerged with a strong lead, securing victories in 212 constituencies. Jamaat-Islami-led alliance has won 70 constituencies according to unofficial results. WION's Assistant Editor for Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibbal, has sent us this ground report from Dhaka.
Well, let's take a look at what the newspapers are saying this morning here in Bangladesh. Now, this is the New Age, which says BNP heads for landslide victory. Counting shows BNP allies lead in 165, Jamaat allies in 66. Now, there is another picture of Tarique Rahman, who is expected to be the Prime Minister of this country. He, of course, showing this body language, that basically is the body language of someone who's going to win. Another newspaper shows a picture of Tarique Rahman voting. Clearly, Tarique Rahman is dominating all the newspapers with his pictures splashed on the front pages of every newspaper here in Bangladesh. Another picture of Tarique Rahman here, and in another newspaper you have the long lines showcasing people voting in the country. It has been very peaceful election, which the authorities are very happy about. And this is a feather in the cap for the Bangladeshi Election Commission. And here you have it, peaceful elections held. In fact, that is the big dominating story. Other than the fact that the results are out, for Bangladesh, this was something that it was waiting for. It's a sigh of relief for the authorities. There were few incidences, but largely, as someone told me, this is the most peaceful election this country has. With video journalist Dheeraj Patel, for WION in Dhaka, Bangladesh.
All right, let's go across to Siddhant Sibbal, who's been reporting relentlessly since the voting began and while the counting process has been on. Siddhant, Tarique Rahman has made a comeback after 17 years. He's won from both constituencies, that is Dhaka 17 as well as Bogora 6. Needless to say, he's garnered a huge support among the masses. First up, if you can highlight the specific issues that the party and even Tarique Rahman raised that seems to have resonated among the people of Bangladesh.
Perhaps it's the inclusive message of the BNP that helped it gather so much support. Remember, it looks like the women voter also supported BNP, and perhaps they did not like the message of the Jamaat leadership. But I'm standing here in the Bangladesh Election Commission, where the results are pouring in. The results are almost out now, and it's confirmed that Tarique Rahman will be the next Prime Minister. The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has extended his congratulations to Tarique Rahman. In a message, he has said that your victory shows the trust the people of Bangladesh have in your leadership, and India will continue to stand in support of democratic, progressive and inclusive Bangladesh. That's a strong message by the Indian side that basically also shows that how the Indian side and the Bangladeshi side are expected to continue the engagement that essentially started in a major way during the Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jayashankar's visit to this city where I am in Dhaka to pay condolences after the demise of Khalida Zia, and in that visit he handed over a letter of the Indian Prime Minister to Tarique Rahman where condolences were extended.
Yes, Siddhant, just a quick follow-up question talking about the crucial referendum, which was an important part of the whole election process. Talk to us about where does this essentially position the Yunus administration, Yunus for that matter, who's been outrightly calling on the citizens to vote with a yes as far as the referendum is concerned.
Well, the referendum was brought in to bring about political changes. One of the political change is to put a limit to the Prime Minister's term, also have a bicameral or two houses in the parliament, and among that almost over 80 such reform measures have been proposed. Now it looks like a debate has started after the referendum was put for vote. Looks like so far there are a lot of yes, but there are a lot of questions as well. Questions that perhaps the interim Yunus government needs to answer. Also, there is the big question over what next for Yunus. He was at the helm for almost 18 months and there have been questions over his policies, whether it is the economic policies or whether it's the foreign policy, given the fact that under his regime we saw the relationship with Bangladesh's perhaps the most important neighbor, India, falling and being in tatters, and that of course he will be giving to the next leadership, that's Tarique Rahman. So Tarique Rahman will have to pick up a lot of pieces, whether it's foreign policy or the economic policy.
Yes, Siddhant, just a quick question before we let you go. Talk to us about the situation on the ground as of now. Any latest statements that you're picking from the BNP or even the Jamaat-Islami for that matter?
Well, we can expect a press conference by the BNP leadership in the day. When it comes to Jamaat, there are leaders who are questioning the so-called irregularities. The newspapers on the ground are celebrating this election. Of course, one thing that stood out in many ways was the violence-free election, something that is perhaps feather in the cap of the Bangladeshi Election Commission. And on the ground, before I let you go, I'll show you some visuals from the Election Commission where, if my camera person Neeraj can just show the visuals of many people still trying to get the details of the result. That board on your screen is the board where results have been put, and it also has the result of Tarique Rahman from his constituency, Dhaka 17, perhaps the most important constituency in this country today. There you have it, visuals of people lining up to get the results. This board was empty till yesterday evening, but it's now packed as people line up and queue to get the latest of this election that was watched not only in Bangladesh closely, but in the region.
All right, Siddhant, thank you for getting us all those updates. We will keep coming back to you. For now, we should focus to other stories that are making headlines.